Hello, and welcome. Welcome once again to the Secrets of the High Demand Coach podcast. And I am here with yet another high demand coach. It is the one, the only, Raido Kivikangur. Now, he's an executive coach who helps business leaders notice what they don't see and hear, what others don't tell them honestly and impartially. He's the CTO of Rail Baltic Estonia, and he climbed from being a shovel man to being a top CTO and runs an international team of professionals. He believes in caring, giving direct feedback, and encouraging people to go a step further than they might think they can. He believes that people play with their A game when they feel supported by a leader and colleagues. Raido lives in Tallinn, Estonia, which is right next to Finland. Well, Raido, thanks so much for being on the show. Just an honor and privilege having you here. Very excited about this conversation, but before we jump into that, to give us a little bit more of the story. You went from shovelman to CTO. How did that all play out?
Yeah, glad to be here. And as the saying goes, that connecting the dots backwards, it's a lot easier than to do it looking forward. But I think that looking backwards here, it has been an amazing journey, and I basically started with having nothing but self-belief. I would say I did not have any knowledge about how to be a leader, how to do any of that stuff I do today. And but I think step by step, brick by brick, and each phase I went through, I just did my best. And of course, I'm a big goal setter, so I have set goals different, although, but still, I have done them and have also contributed as well as I can on that specific moment. And I think this is one of the key reasons, just because as you focus on that specific brick that you're laying, as you do that, your foundation is going to get solid, and that's something that you can build other things upon. So I think it has been brick by brick.
Very good. What would you say then, if you fast forward today, what is some of the most important work you're doing as a coach?
I think the very key thing is that leaders, executives, no secret, but they're all humans as everyone else. Despite the fact that usually it's forgotten because there's somebody mean on the corner there. But the key thing is actually for the leaders to understand whether they are, let's say, on the goal line or on the soul line. The idea is that executives usually are results, deadlines, finances, but the other side of the same coin is the people, their hearts, their feelings, and so on and so on. And of course, on the contrary, many people, many leaders even, are on the different side. They are about the feelings, about the emotions, and so on, but they are not so much into deadlines, results, and so on. So the main thing I think I do is raising awareness that there are both sides of the coin. They have to go hand in hand. The results will go hand in hand with the feelings of the team members, for example, of the well-being of the team. So I think combining the soft side and the harsh side, if I may say that, I think this has been the biggest challenge.
Yeah. And how do you start to navigate that? I want to tie together a couple of things you talked about. So goals, right? One of the most common places I see this is in just the goal setting rhythm of an organization. And you're kind of there. It's the beginning of the quarter, the year, whatever the sequence is. And it's like, no one really asks this, but the question is, how hard can we push this year, right? How far can we go? And even going back to your intro, there's this idea of we want to lead with love and understanding, but also pushing people beyond what they think they can do. How do you navigate that as an executive?
I think the balance is, we all know, can't aim too low, otherwise your team will not do their best in these circumstances. And if you aim too high, also the motivation drops, because many of the executives, the employees, they will see that it's not possible. But okay, that's something we have to do. But the idea actually is that we need to push, as the science also says, that we need to push additional 15%. If you're able to walk, let's say, 1 mile, then your goal should be a bit over 1 mile. Not 2 miles, because 2 miles is way off your league today. Go step by step. And also your goal cannot be below this 1 mile. So if you're able to walk 1 mile, then your goal is a bit over. That's reachable, and it will make you stretch. No. It's a very simple model, but based on science, this is the best approach to use. And if setting company goals, quarterly goals, so on, that's the model to use. And that's actually something that you can almost reach, but you have to stretch your toes to get it. So
yeah. One of the challenges that I've seen executives face is in particular leading other managers and leaders, right? So as an executive, many times you are being led and leading others who are leading, and it's different than leading frontline workers or professionals that are getting the job done. What have you found are some of the unique challenges of leading managers, and how can executives step into that challenge and become more effective?
I think one of the key components is that if you're an executive leading other leaders, then your job is to make clear for your leaders, let's say, that they are responsible for their own work. So they would do their work without knowing that you are in control, you're peeking over their shoulder. And they have to have that mindset that this is my team, I'm responsible, I need to do everything that's needed to be done to this work. Because usually the frontline workers, they will do their work, but they know that they will validate it with their leader. Hey, I did this, is it okay? As you are a top executive, you need to understand that you cannot do this with your leaders. They have to be independent. They have to ask the harsh questions from themselves, not waiting you to approve them. The idea is that you grow independent leaders, and they will do the necessary work with their team. And of course, they will look in the mirror and ask, have I done enough? Have my team done enough? Because as a top executive, I don't agree with the idea that all decisions has to go through the CEO, for example, or the CTO. So yeah, I think the key component is to make the leader team understand that they are the very line that has to be independent on themselves. They have to make agreements among themselves, not to run to you, hey, we have this problem here. So I think this is the very tricky one, but this is the essence of it, or the difference.
And I think that's so hard, because the kind of glaring red alarm bell that's going off is, but what if they do it wrong, right? And if we're used to kind of leading hands-on, it can be worse, or it can be challenging to let go of that. How do you help walk folks through that process?
I think the fact is that they will do it wrong. I think this is the 99% of it, and I also think that it's not bad. They have to do it wrong, because that's the nature of us. We learn when we do something wrong, and I think that the problem occurs when the same person is going through the similar situation third time or fourth or fifth, and they're still making the same decision. Then you have questions. But when people are making mistakes, and they will, and you're letting them to do them. So I think it's a good thing. I think that that actually shows that how strong is your relationship with that person, because they will make mistakes, and is your relationship strong enough that they will come to tell you, hey Scott, I messed up. You trusted me, but I messed up. So if they are able to tell you that, then your relationship is strong enough, and that's a decent frame, or the solid frame that you're able to build another layers on top of it. So I think that's the trust is the very basis. They will make mistakes, but be open about it, speak about it, and find solutions together with the rest of the team. And I think this will give you the, not you, but the entire team, that we're in this together. This guy in top of the mountain, he or she trusts me, and I will do anything that I can. So, and mistakes are okay.
I want to switch gears because I love that. But there was this one element that kept coming up as I was doing research for this episode. This was this idea of vision. And that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. But when you think about vision and its role in helping an executive to be effective, how do you define vision, and how do you help executives implement it?
I think the vision has, of course, it has many layers. But often what I have seen is that the vision that the very top management sets, and the practical goals that the working level sets, they are not working together. They are living in a different world. And I think it's a very good, let's say, saying that your plan, your vision has to be so clear, so simple, that when you explain it to a 6-year-old boy, then this 6-year-old boy is able to go to tell your vision to his grandmother. If that works out, then your vision is simple enough, it's clear enough, and that's one of the bases that everybody has to understand it. They reflect it back, because usually the financial numbers, what the executives say that this is our vision, it doesn't connect with the frontline employees. It's just a distant number. They don't know anything about it. And I think the second topic here is that when usually the management says that these are our quarterly goals, then we usually say, what's the profit? What's the projects we need to finish? What's the research and development we need to push? But we're all humans, and the employee will ask, what's in it for me? You say that you value people, but we have no goals for people. We have no goals, yearly goals. We'll never have goals. So one of the things is that people are seeking this. Okay, we're having difficult times. Our financial goals are this and this and this. Our vision for 3 years is this. But it has to include something for the employees.
Mm. Yeah.
And then never it is, but this is a very key component. Take care of your employees, take care of your team, and actually show it out. Otherwise, the words and the actions will not meet.
Yeah. So one of the most common questions I'm asked by CEOs is, it's not a single question, but it's this kind of group of questions all around, how do I know if my team have what it takes to either become executives, to stay in an executive seat, or to rise to the level of the occasion that's coming up? How do you look for potential for executives?
I think that, let's say, to take two employees, they are sitting next to each other, they are sitting behind different desks, and they are working on a common project, and one of them is doing their part and is giving the package to the other. And something happens, some communication error happens, and this pile of papers will, let's say, drop between these two tables. And I would say the potential of becoming a leader is that person who's going to pick it up. Because I have seen it many times that different topics that will fall between different divisions, different departments, between different tables, and the mindset that I have done my part, I don't care what happens. That's something else. That's somebody else's topic now. This is not the mindset of a leader. Leader ensures that, nevertheless, that they have only a small part of the process. I want to make sure that everyone else are doing their part. So if someone is looking for leaders, look for guys, look for girls who are actually wanting to close the topics. They don't have to do it themselves, of course. They want to ensure that it will have a start and it also has a finish line, because these are leaders. They will do the whole process. They will take care of it, not just say, oh, sorry, that's not my topic anymore.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. Now, there's a question I like to ask all my guests, and it is this. What is the biggest secret you wish just wasn't a secret at all? What's that one thing you wish everybody watching or listening today knew?
That's a great question I have to ask. But the one thing is the harsh thing that I have experienced throughout my life. It's the one thing is that all the answers are on the mirror. The face that you are looking from the mirror, that's the person who knows all the answers. Don't wait for your family or friends or society or your coworkers to support you. If you have something, if you have a goal, that's the guy from the mirror who's saying, I will do this. It sounds harsh, but that's how it is. Sometimes it's the only person who encourages you to keep going. So yeah, that's the thing.
Wow. Thanks for that. Folks are listening to this and they're thinking it's time, right? I need to step up as an executive. I want to be a better leader. I want to stand in that tension and lead my team well. How can they find more out about you and the work that you do?
If you, as I said, also, I have a friend who calls himself Dr. Google, but if you Google me, I have a homepage, and also from LinkedIn, Facebook, I'm available. Nevertheless, the channels. So pick the one you like the most, and let's keep a chat if you're interested. So happy to help.
Fantastic. Well, Raido, thank you so much for being on the show today. Just an honor and privilege having you here. For those of you watching and listening, I hope you got as much out of this conversation as I know I did, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Take care.